So this video is here to let people know what goes on in various components of our Chapaton pump station. And again, the Chapaton pump station is located at 9 Mile and Jefferson. It takes care of the sewage from St. Clair Shores and East Point, just those two communities. So we have a lot of different kinds of things that happen here, but where we are standing right now is in our test lab. And in our lab here, we take samples of water. Obviously, everything we do here is with an eye toward water quality. So we're always testing to make sure that if there's any E. coli or whatever, that we can do whatever we need to do to make sure we're disinfecting properly. And so this is Kris, who's one of our stars down here at the Chapaton station, and he's going to explain to us just very briefly, but just to give you an idea of what happens when we take a test, the different types of things they do with the water sample and how long it takes, and what the numbers are. In other words, you know, you hear about beach closings. Beaches close when E. coli counts have reached 300 or in excess. And if you hear about us doing a test, an E. coli test out in a drain, sometimes you'll hear me say, we got a hot spot. That's where we found that there's some, you know, we have had a number of these since I've been in office here, as we're out doing comprehensive testing around the county, where we found, for instance, there was a business whose sanitary sewage was going into the storm drain, and we found that was a hot spot, right? And so we found that, we fixed it so that we separated that, and that wasn't happening. But anyway, 300 is the number we're looking at. So Kris, maybe you could just explain what happens when you take a water sample and how it works.
Sure. So during a rain event, we will take on water here at the Chapaton Basin when the rain amounts are usually greater than ½ an inch of rain. So if there's a lot of rain, we will fill the basin, chlorinate the water within certain tolerances, and then if need be, we will discharge into the lake. Once we discharge into the lake, we are required by our permit to take samples for E. coli. Now, those samples will be ran the first half hour, then every 2 hours, and then after 8 hours, it's 4 hours. And now, once we grab our sample, we will take the 100 milliliter bottle and we will fill the sample, and then we will mix in our reagent for the quantity tray. We use the 18-hour, and so once it's mixed, we will pour it off into our quantity tray sealer and then seal it, and then we will take it over to our incubator, and at 35 degrees it will stay in here for 18 hours.
18 hours.
18 hours, and then we will have our results. Down here, we usually, event average is in the single digits for our E. coli count, which is pretty
almost
low.
Nothing, yeah.
Yeah, we do a really good job at chlorinating and keeping within our tolerances to get maximum amount of E. coli kill when we discharge.
So again, you can think that if you're closing a beach at 300 and plus, your count's an E. coli, because that could be a danger to humans, right? Human contact. Our E. coli counts here, when you do the process as we are doing it now, is in the single digits. So it's, I mean, there's still maybe some trace, but really not any impact to human contact.
Correct. Yeah, we usually range from single digits to maybe 20, I think, is usually our max.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. And so I just wanted to let people know what we do here with the testing center. I think it's sort of an interesting thing. It's obviously a critical component of everything that happens down here at Chapaton. And as I've said many times, our whole goal is to reduce and eventually eliminate combined sewer overflows, which have been going on for decades and decades. And we have a design that we're currently doing that is going to substantially reduce the amount of CSOs, as we call them, combined sewer overflows. We hope to be talking to you in detail about that very shortly. So we're quite excited with, in a short period of time, how quickly we're moving here. But I will tell you, it's always about the people. So we have a great team down here at Chapaton. You don't hear about these guys much, but just know that every time we have a heavy rain or a wet weather event, even when the snow melts in the spring or what have you, these guys are down here 24/7 trying to make sure that first of all, as everything is, because these systems here in East Point and St. Clair Shores are what they call combined systems. So their sanitary sewer and their storm sewer is combined, and the system that we have just can't handle the amount of flow that is coming at Chapaton here. So they have to make sure that if they have to overflow into the lake, that we're meeting our permitted requirements, and in fact we're exceeding those in a negative way, which is a good thing. So we're really very low on this, but we have to stop doing this at some point. We can't keep passing this along to our generationally to our children and our grandchildren, and so we're very focused on that. But in the interim, we want to make sure that everything we're doing here is proper, and so we're on the job here. So thanks for joining us.